We're looking at the Rhapsody of Realities devotional by Pastor Chris, specifically an entry called Practice Who You Are.
Yeah, it really hits on that awkward space between what you believe and what you're actually experiencing.
That whole, if I'm a child of God, why is this part of my life such a mess feeling?
Exactly. And the default answer for many people is to question their identity. Maybe I'm not who I thought I was.
But this text goes in a totally different direction. It says the problem isn't your identity at all. It's your coordination.
That is the absolute core of it. The author makes a clean break between who you are and how developed you are.
And he uses an analogy to get there. Right?
He does, a biological one.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about a baby learning to walk.
Which makes sense. I mean, nobody comes out of the womb ready to run a marathon.
Right. Your bones, your muscles, they all have to develop. But the text really focuses on the failure aspect of it.
Right.
So when a toddler takes a step and, falls flat on their face, you don't look down and say, well, that's obviously not a human.
No. You'd say it's a mechanical issue, not a species issue.
Precisely. And that's the logic this text applies to spiritual growth. It basically says your identity as a child of God is a settled fact.
So if you stumble...
the text is saying you shouldn't question your identity. You should be looking at your training.
It's almost like it's trying to, gamify faith. Like spiritual maturity isn't some mystical state, but more like a gym routine.
A gym routine is a perfect way to put it. The text literally calls on people to be word practitioners and talks about having your senses exercised.
But here's where I get a little stuck. It lists things you need to practice. So righteousness, faith, okay. But then joy, peace. How do you do reps of an emotion like joy? You either feel it or you don't, right?
And that's a fair question. The source seems to frame them less as moods and more as trainable skills.
Yeah.
It argues you have to deliberately act them out to master them.
Act them out.
Yeah, and there's a cognitive reason for this, which the text gets into with the whole mirror paradox from the book of James.
The man who sees his face in a mirror and then immediately forgets what he looks like.
It sounds totally absurd, but think about it as a kind of, let's call it identity drift.
Identity drift, okay.
The idea is that without action, without doing something, the mind just sort of dumps the information.
So you're saying the practice isn't just about being a good person, it's actually a strategy to remember who you are.
That's the logic, yeah. If you only hear, I have dominion, but you never actually use it, you drift. You walk away from the mirror and forget. The doer remembers because the action is constantly reinforcing the identity.
Okay, so you put in the work, you do the reps. What's the payoff?
Unconscious competence. The text claims that eventually things like victory, health, wisdom, they all become, and this is a direct quote, as natural to you as breathing.
Okay. Like learning to drive a car. You're thinking about every little thing, the blinker, the brake, but after a while, you just drive.
Exactly. It's when you no longer have to try to be righteous or peaceful. It just becomes your default setting.
Wow. That really reframes the whole idea of struggle then. The argument is that hitting a wall isn't a sign that you're a fraud.
No, it's just data. It's a signal that you need more reps in that one area.
So if you're struggling, check your training log, not your birth certificate.
That's it. And that, I think, leaves us with a pretty interesting question to chew on.
What's that?
How many of what we call identity crises are, at the end of the day, really just a lack of practice?
Something to think about. That's your call to action. You can find more information on this source material, The Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris, on their website, www.rhapsodyofrealities.org.
We'll catch you next time.
We trust you were blessed by this episode. To gain unlimited access to Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris, please download the Rhapsody app using the link myapp.rhapsodyofrealities.org. God bless you.